Hello YouTube, this is the Sim Basketball Operator bringing you an NBA 2K13 Association commentary, and here is just the latter half of my off season. I decided to restrain myself in free agency. I was obviously originally planning to draft a small forward and then look for a guy to replace CJ Miles as that six-man role. Looking at guys like J.R. Smith, I think Brandon Rush, but since I drafted a guy to fill the CJ Miles role and take his minutes, I was just pretty much looking for a bench player at this point. The options in the 2014 offseason are much better, and so here I'm just going to settle for a rental of a solid defensive player that can play the 3 and the 4, standing at 6'9", 235. Not really much potential. He's pretty much what he is right now. And he's a solid defender. He's actually got the lockdown defender signature skill. I'm not sure why 2K gave him that. He also has the scrapper signature skill. So those will be welcomed as we plan to return to the playoffs this season. And he's going to basically help G and Joseph at the small forward positions. I thought about Jay Crowder for a little bit, but decided that I wanted a veteran who has had a better overall. And so, pretty much this video, I'm going to sign McGuire, going to go through training camps and whatnot. So I'm going to talk about the plans I have for this association. First of all, I'm very happy with our guard rotation. It's set. It's done. Some point way into the future, I'm going to have to choose between Waiters and McLemore, because they're not going to be, either one of them is not going to be happy about being a six-man, because I expect them to get into the upper 80s, potentially even low 90s. And then none of them, well, McLemore, I don't think can really play small forward. So right now, they're going to be part of a 3-guard rotation that's going to lead our team in offense. And in the post, I did not make any changes this offseason. I thought about it, but decided against it. And the reason why was because I thought we had something special in Zeller and Thompson. They fit each other pretty well. And they both, I think Thompson progressed 4 points, and Zeller progressed 3 points, and I'm going to send Zeller to untapped potential. I had a lot of reward points. Heck, I got the Coach of the Year award and had a 25 win improvement. So that's the main reason why there. And I thought Zeller's potential, like actual potential, would be really bad, but it was a 74, which is okay, and then improved to an 84. This also improves his trade value if I decide to trade him. So that's why my big man rotation stays intact. And for continuity purposes, I think Daniel Gibson and Anderson Varejao are going to stay on this team a little while longer. They're both solid veterans that can do something really well, even though in the future they'll be both coming off the bench. Varejao actually went down 3 points, which is a considerable amount, but he's still a good scrapper and a great rebounder. And I sent Tristan Thompson to big man offense. I think Ben McLemore and Kyrie Irving to perimeter defense, and Dion Waiters to perimeter shooting. And at the small forward positions where we have questions, expect a trade somewhere around the trade deadline period for me to make a move for a small forward for the next few years. I'm looking for a guy that's tall, obviously not 6'6" like Alonzo G, but more 6'8"-ish, so he can guard the bigger small forwards. Pretty good defender, basically an all-around guy, can spot up shoot. If he has one weakness, it can be creating off the dribble. I mean, if he was a good rebounder, that helps because he can never have too many rebounders. And that's who I'll be looking for. And Dominic McGuire is a 1-year loan. I'm not going to keep him really after this season, because once I get that small forward, he will no longer be necessary. Alonzo G is the trade bait for that small forward, as well as the Celtics first round pick, which I got. Because I figured if they did bad this year, they're going to do even worse next year, even though none of their key players retired, because that means they are still limited in terms of cap space. I'm also willing to trade Zeller away now that his trade value's gone up for that small forward, because we have guys like DeMarcus Cousins, Greg Monroe, Larry Sanders, and becoming a free agency next year. Oh yeah, I signed Samardo Samuels because I need to fill another roster spot. And I figured why not bring him back. So that's what the perspective looks for the Cavaliers. Expect the championship in the next 2 years. That's my guarantee. It's mainly my guarantee because I won't be playing this game longer, this association longer than the next 2 years. And so yeah, that's pretty much the Cavaliers perspective. If you guys have any small forward suggestions, they'll be welcomed. I plan to keep Chris Joseph. He seemed like he'll develop into a nice bench small forward, spot starter, the occasional starter, and potentially a six-man too, because when that point in time comes that I will have to make a decision, or whoever the GM at this time will have to make a decision between McLemore and Waiters, then he will step into that six-man role, hopefully. And so, now I'm fixing my rotation. I'm really hoping we make the playoffs and that we have some win improvements. But to be honest, we didn't make that many changes. The improvements are going to have to come from within our own team and from Ben McLemore being better than CJ Miles. Alright, and now to talk about our draft picks. We have our pick, the Kings pick, and the Celtics first round pick. Now I already mentioned that we might trade the Celtics first round pick to get a better small forward, but these other picks, the 2014 draft class, I wouldn't say it's deeper, but it's got more star potential than the 2013 draft class. And another thing is that if you wanted your big man, your future post starter, you need to get it into the 2013 draft class, I think. Guys like Nerlens Noel, Cody Zeller, Alex Len, they can be future starters. Now there's one guy from Senegal named Iliman Diop. I'm not sure what he can be, but he's a guy I'm looking at for a backup big man role. And of course Willie Cauley-Stein's another guy. Willie Cauley-Stein, personally, I think should stay in school. Even though he's not going to be an offensive focal point, he'll still start and be put next to guys like the Harrison Twins and James Young. So that's the only Kentucky freshman this year that I think should stay at Kentucky. And so the big man class next year is not going to be that strong. There's a lot of small forwards in that class, and I may want to think about not trading the Celtics pick and grabbing a really good small forward. But that's just going to put me in a cap bind when I have to re-sign all these players. So maybe it's not necessary to get a franchise small forward. So those are just something to think about. Please leave your suggestions in the comments. As you can see, in terms of 2K ratings, we are 23rd. Well, last year we were 27th and we finished, I think, 5th best. And to close this video, I'm going to show you some of the draft recap and stuff. This is what some of the teams look like. So first we're going to start at the top with Shabazz Muhammad. He's my pick for Rookie of the Year because he's in a great spot in Philadelphia. He's starting for them. And he has decent ratings. He's 73 overall. He's got B potential. Next player I'm going to look at is Cody Zeller, power forward for Milwaukee. Milwaukee has a stacked team, but he's going to start for them. And he's probably one of the best players in the draft. He's 75, 76 overall rating. Very all-around power forward, and he's got B+ potential. So he probably should have been number 1. Or maybe Ben McLemore, the guy I drafted. He's a 75 overall. I developed him a little bit. He's just a beast off-ball scorer. He's got A- for shooting and defense, and he's got A- potential. So he should have gone number 1, like my scouts said. They thought he was the best prospect in the draft. And he should have just been gone number 1. But Anthony Bennett went to the Clippers. He's backing up Blake Griffin. He's got really good all-around statistics. I put him as a power forward because I thought he's more natural at that position. He's got decent potential. And now the next player I'm going to look at is one of the point guards. He's not as highly rated, but because all the point guards left after the 3 to 7 range, I was surprised that he did not go earlier. And he's a decent player. He's going to be backing up Harrison Teague in Atlanta. And that's going to be his role. Now here's the number 2 pick, I think.
James McAdoo. He's not that good. 67 overall rating. He's got 3.6 skills because I thought he was going to be better, but I lowered his rating, but I don't know how to take away signature skills. So that's why he has 3.6 skills. This is another high pick. I think it was the 4th pick. Alex Placers. He's just a really bad player. He's 62 overall, and the Magic are going to have a really high pick again, I feel. He doesn't have the greatest potential, and I don't know, that pick makes no sense. Now the Pistons drafted Nerlens Noel. I'm not sure. He has the best potential out of everyone, but this makes no sense. And then they go sign Dwight Howard in free agency. So now they have like 4 starting caliber centers and Ersan Williams over the power forward. Top point guard in the draft, Marcus Smart. He went right around when I thought he would go. Some people have him as the #1 pick, but that's more based off necessity, not his skill. But he's got good potential, and he's a pretty good leader and high competitor. Alex Len went to the Thunder, and the Thunder didn't have to use the pick from Toronto because they don't have that in this association. So the fact that Alex Len fell this far is good for them. With Perkins and the beat injured, I think Len is starting for now, and he's a pretty good player. Now Victor Oladipo went to the Timberwolves, another guy that's projected to go to this team, but he's a 3rd string shooting guard for the Timberwolves. They still have Brandon Roy. Alexei Shaved progressed really well, so he's decent. His potential is at 75, so I don't know why it's a C-, but I guess that's what it is. And here's the #1 pick, Otto Porter. 69 overall rating. He's got pretty good all-around statistics. He's got decent potential, and he's a solid player all around. Actually, a lot of people have him as a top 3 pick. So the fact that he went #1 was kind of surprising because he's not that franchise player, but it's a decent pick for the Blazers. I thought Nerlens Noel would be the better fit. So yeah, this is the Sim Basketball Operator. More association on the way, opening day, and I will see you guys next time.